You've been this other guy almost as long as you've been yourself. Hey, when you dream, were you still Joey? Joey's been dead a long time, and yet here you sit.
He finds himself in places he never thought he'd be in, sat on an obsolete rock in the middle of the road on 3 a.m., pondering and anticipating the rounds of the season, wandering and pontificating an ounce of a reason behind the very purpose of his being. Blood on his white coat, but nobody knows that he's bleeding. Instead, they're certain and hell-bent on believing it's others' blood spilled on him as he was actively healing their maladies, finding a remedy. That's the divine comedy the masses don't always talk about, but you'd hear it if you listen closely enough. Or will you ever listen closely enough? The vaccination was for hepatitis B. Roughly 6 months were taken for this idea to be. An extra 18 faded just for this idea to breathe, because it wasn't before this, in spite of the exposure he and she will be subjected to when dealing with the people they're supposed to be healing, clearing their maladies and finding a remedy. That's the divine comedy hidden underneath these underlying policies. It's almost like they were designed to be the enemies of he and she. Or he and she though. He finds himself back at where he's assigned to be. Had his shirt ironed well, white coat washed from his bloodstains so he could get back to square one. Subtly back at the main ward, white when closed, eyes now clogged by red lines. Back to the night shifts, it's 3 a.m. and he's back to contemplating the questions he had the other night, and now he's doing equations to hamper down his fight, all in the middle of the main ward. Seems that's either something he likes or has to do oftentimes, but he finds more bloodstains on his white coat right before he knows, realizes he can't sustain his whitely broke life, and so he goes back to the same rock, sat in the same spot. Same question sequester his mind, and it goes on until the rooster repeats the same line as said the other night, and he's back to doing the thing to which he was assigned. The proposition was for reduction in duty hours. Eyes open wide, 36 minutes become 30, 60 minutes plus an additional 6 in an hour. Time's up, time to get back to where you came from, until it's time to get back from where you came from. They had enough, we see it on their eyes, but they gotta suffer now so their dreams get realized. That's of course unless they realize that any sort of dream they have has already died, and even if alive, access to it gets vehemently denied. He looks on the stain of his coat and asks will they even care if suddenly he died. Too afraid of his words, he gently rubs his coat as he bleached away the dye, and he hung it on the rope just to see it as it dries. And once all said and tried, he gets back to where he's assigned, where he and she lock eyes. I know most of you hardly get the things I write, but allow me to say my lines. Act like I got no wrongs to right. Just let me be, and I will tell you a story of a girl with a low BMI. She is a few hundred miles from where I'm at. If you look closely at her eyes, you'll find a light that has been dimmed from all the years of being deemed that she's not alright enough for her dreams yet. I've never been there, but I heard that place is hell on earth, a land where the knife heals, but others wanting to be healers die by the sword of the healing butcher. Healing butchers butchering aspiring butchers until they become qualified butchers themselves. They say it's a place where dreams come to die, even though it's made to give a second chance at life. Damn it, that's where my own grandfather lied on his final days, but never mind. Let's get back to talking about the underweight girl. All they know is she's diagnosed with Crohn's, but something else hid behind the undertones, and as she realized it all, she made the decision to decide her fated fate, and now he and she lock eyes, heads stuck aligned and standing face to face.
He and she lock eyes, heads stuck aligned, standing face to face.